This video will discuss how correlation coefficient can tell us the strength of a relationship. So just to remind ourselves, a correlation coefficient measures and describes the relationship or the association between two variables. We've already discussed how it describes the direction of the relationship, and now we're going to talk about the consistency or strength of the relationship. So the numerical value of the correlation coefficient runs from 0 to 1, and that again indicates the strength or consistency of the relationship. So here 0 is a very weak relationship, and as we go towards 1, a positive 1, we're getting a very strong relationship. Going towards negative 1, we're getting a very strong relationship. And so, and basically a negative 1 or a positive 1 is a perfect correlation, which we don't really see in nature. And so a lot of times anything above 0.5 we'll consider a fairly strong relationship. So in a linear relationship, the data points in the scatter plot tend to cluster around a line. And so a lot of times we can describe it as a football type relationship or a football scatter plot. And that's kind of what this looks like here, suggesting that there's a fairly strong positive, or the football could be going in a negative direction relationship. This here, the scatter plot points are all in a single line, which suggests a perfect linear relationship, so a negative 1 here. And neither of these are really suggesting much relationship at all. So when we're looking at a linear relationship, we would use the Pearson's correlation coefficient. And if we get a correlation coefficient that goes from 0 to 3, it's a very weak correlation, 0.31 to 5, moderate, 0.51 to 0.8, strong, and 0.81 to 1 is very strong, again with 1 being a perfect correlation. And sometimes you might see these numbers and these strengths be a little bit different than what's reported here, but this is from your textbook. So Pearson correlation is measuring the degree and the direction of the linear relationship between two variables. The degree is how strong it is, and the direction is whether it's positive or negative. So again, a perfect linear relationship, every x has a corresponding change in y. So the correlation is going to be a negative 1 or a positive 1. So here's a perfect negative correlation, and this is your correlation coefficient here. And this is a perfect positive correlation, and this would be your correlation coefficient here. And then these are just showing you what maybe a very strong negative relationship would look like, with an R of 0.08, and here would be a positive one with an R of 0.08. Here we have still a strong relationship, but not quite as strong. We have a negative 0.6 represented here in the scatter plot, and a positive 0.6 represented in this scatter plot.